Whew, things are about to get a little bit spicy, baby. We have some beef to talk about. On one side, we have that of the Hollywood Reporter. On the other side, we have that of James Gunn. Now, the Hollywood Reporter is challenging James Gunn to prove them wrong regarding Superman's budget. I gotta tell you guys why I feel that the Hollywood Reporter has every right to challenge James Gunn on this matter. Now look, before I get started, do your boy three major favors. Please hit that subscribe button. Then after you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell, because YouTube absolutely sucks at notifying subscribers that content creators has uploaded videos to their platform. Hitting that notification bell certainly helps. And don't forget to hit that like button to help me out with that algorithm, baby. Now let's get into today's video. This article is coming from thatparkplace.com. It is titled, Hollywood Reporter pushes back on James Gunn budget claims for Superman, suggests cost could top $400 million. We went over that, and I said Warner Brothers has lost their damn minds. Then again, that is accurate, because they did indeed fire Henry Cavill, an actor playing a character that most people wanted. I guess you can't make this stuff up. All right. For months, James Gunn has publicly pushed back on just about any report that he claims misrepresent his upcoming Superman reboot. But now, one of the industry's biggest trades is calling his bluff on Superman budget claims. That's right. They're at the poker table, and now it is time to flip over those cards. All right. A new investigation from the Hollywood Reporter appears to directly refute Gunn's prior comments about the film's production costs, suggesting the budget for Superman may be far higher than the studio wants to admit. In fact, according to the Hollywood Reporter, the film's gross budget could be as high as $363 million, with marketing expected to push the total cost into the $400 million range. And he's being a little bit, how could I say this, biased on this one, because he said $400 million range, most likely the $500 million range. And I say biased because I know for a fact that Marvin is excited about that of James Gunn's Superman. So he indeed knows that this is going to be closer to $500 million. He's just trying to be safe. All right. All right. That's a sharp contrast to Gunn's own messaging, and it marks a rare moment. Listen, it is rare. Understand that. When a major Hollywood outlet is publicly challenging the DC Studios co-chair's version of events. This is rare. This is unique. You feel what I'm saying? This almost never happens, and I'm going to tell you why. All right. Last year, documents filed by the Superman production team with the Ohio state government listed a gross budget of $363 million, a figure submitted in order to secure tax incentives. All right, what else I want to get from this? All right, you know, they say Gunn fired back. He's claiming that the budget is $225 million, and we know that it isn't. All right. All right. All right. According to the report, Warner Brothers may be preparing to spend as much as $200 million on global marketing for Superman. For comparison, most major summer blockbusters typically land around $150. Now, they know damn well people been spending $200 million. It all depends on what film you're making. You know what I'm saying? But let me continue here. All right. I want to end it with this very last paragraph here. Gunn may still argue that the net budget is all that matters, but the real issue now is credibility. If the gross costs are indeed as high as $363 million, as official documents indicate, then denying those numbers publicly calls into question just how transparent DC Studios is willing to be with fans, shareholders, and the press. Now, out of this entire article, one word mattered the most. And it was in the last paragraph. Credibility. See, the Hollywood Reporter has to get this right. There cannot be a news site that is going to give you false and fake news. You notice they didn't even use the word rumor because they know that they have an official tax document. I'm trying to understand if James Gunn knows that or not. I don't know. Do he even realize that we had this information last year? This isn't even new news. You know what I'm saying here? We talked about James Gunn's Superman budget last year. Now, I did not make a video, but I'm talking about everyone else on the internet. This is not new news. And you notice that entire time, maybe it was only one time he tried to debunk it and he just went away from it. I think it was one time. And that brings me to another thing. As the head of DC Studios, why is it that you have this need to attack every bit of reporting on this movie? Why is that? Why you're intertwining yourself with online chatter? You will literally respond to any random, all because you do not like what you're hearing, which is why you're in this position in the first place. That's right. The Hollywood Reporter, they talked about the budget. James Gunn inserted himself and wanted to challenge them on it. Now, the Hollywood Reporter is asking them, all right, flip the cards over. Let me see what you got. We didn't put our bets on the table. We all have 3 cards here. You can't continue to say, hit me, until the deck runs out. See, if you shut your ass up, you would not be put in any situation of this kind. If you were really just being the head of DC Studios, we would not be talking about this right now. And it's all because you have this need to put up some smoke screens. See, you want everyone to believe that your movie only needs $700 million worldwide to break even. That's what you want everyone to believe. In fact, if it's 220, then that would be $660 million worldwide. So you want to set this low goal so the news could be in a positive light. So you can't fabricate these things. This is something that DC has been doing for a while now. Remember, The Flash is one of the greatest comic book movies of all time that I've ever seen. Well, why don't you let the audience judge the film? How you going to tell somebody that the movie is the greatest thing that you ever seen? And you're the person that made the movie. How does that go? You cannot fabricate this stuff, man. You have to let it happen organically. That is what they did with the MCU, at least phases 1 through 3. And speaking of the budget, obviously you're not confident that you have a banger on your hands. Think about it like this. We knew the budget for Infinity War and Endgame was $1 billion. And I'm talking about $500 million each before either film was set to be filming. We knew this. We knew that the budget was going to be that high the moment Age of Ultron ended. Because Marvel Studios was confident. They didn't have to put up no smoke screen out there in order to try to manipulate the news. That's what this man is trying to do. They fed that 225 to these trades out here, and they want them to run with it. They want them to run with it so bad. But the moment that a trade does their due diligence and actually get the information to report on it, they're mad because they don't want you to know. How does that go? So DC Studios would never be transparent. Warner Brothers would never be transparent. As people who has a mind to think, we have to vet information ourselves. That's how I feel. Because they would never keep it real. Warner Brothers understands that they're in a situation where a lot of people, they're not confident that the studio will prevail, right? They understand that. So now it's like, oh, we got to control the news. No, not over here. Not over here. And the Hollywood Reporter, stand your ground. That's right. Until they come with something, let them know that you already have everything. But then again, something tells me that they may get quiet now. I don't see them addressing this in the near future. Maybe they will. But if they are smart, they would just shut up. And James Gunn stay off of social media. I feel like you embarrass yourself when you try to, get this information that you know damn well could very well be real, right? All these leaks for James Gunn's Superman. He really believes that nothing is going to leak from his film. This man thinks he's a god. That's right. He thinks he's a god. They better hope and pray that Superman blows the walls off the house. Because if it doesn't, things are only going to get worse for this company. And by the way, I want to let you know, they finally have done it. Warner Brothers stock is above $10. That's right, 1,000 pennies. Congratulations, Warner Brothers. You're going, I'm sorry. Right before my damn eyes, it just dropped down to $9.86.